Surprise! The exciting thing that we're doing in New Zealand is renting a car and driving all the way from Queenstown to Auckland.
Hello, hello. We are Trisha
And Gabriel.
from different sides of the world but brought together by nursing school. After a couple years of travel nursing, we are taking a break to just travel.
We are going around the world in 100 days, but probably more, and hoping to see a few friends along the way.
So follow along with us as we simply live our lives in many cities across the globe.
So this video is going to be about our entire drive throughout the South Island. Day one, we go from Queenstown to Lake Tekapo. This is a 3-hour drive. This all being said, we did have a time constraint. If I was recommending this to someone else, I would say spend more time than we are. We had like 6 days total. You could easily make this 2 weeks.
2 weeks, right?
You could easily, honestly, make it a month if you're doing a
If you
lot
go
of stops.
slowly, correct. And of course, all these locations are packed with activities and things to do, which we did not do because
We just scratched the surface.
we needed to be in Auckland on a certain date. Something else I would like to say is we heard from multiple people who have lived in New Zealand that the way to do it is to go from south to north. I don't know what it will look like to go the other direction. Maybe if one of you have done it, you can let us know.
Goodbye, Queenstown. We are off on quite the adventure. That is really exciting. And of course, we'll bring you along. Something really exciting about our time in New Zealand is that we're not just coming and staying in Queenstown. We rented a car, here's our driver, and we are driving from Queenstown, which is in the south part of the South Island. We are driving up. We're gonna take a ferry to cross into the North Island, and we are driving to Auckland. So we are driving the length of New Zealand.
Well, almost the length of New Zealand.
Almost the length. Not the whole thing.
1,500 kilometers. I don't know what that is in miles.
You do the math. The drive so far has exceeded expectations. As many people may know, I believe Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, all those like movies were filmed here. And honestly, if Gandalf just jumped out in the middle of the road right now, I wouldn't even bat an eye. It looks like he should be wandering around out here. We've got how many days to do it?
6 more days, maybe.
6. We've got 6 days to make it. We're driving anywhere from 3 to 6 hours a day. It should be so fun. The first stop along our drive is Lake Wanaka. As you can see, it's beautiful.
One of the stops we did during this drive was at the Wanaka Lavender Farm. Check their website beforehand because obviously there is a lavender season when they're in bloom and there is also a season when they're not in bloom. So if you head there when they're not in bloom, I mean,
There'll be no lavenders there.
I'm sure you can still buy the lavender honey and you can see all the little cute farm animals that are running around.
Yes.
But being there when it was in bloom obviously
special,
heightened
correct.
the experience.
And we had some ice cream at their cafe, which was like
Lavender?
made with like lavender, like natural stuff.
Yes.
So it's really good.
A very good stop and a good road trip stop because it took
Right,
about
to-
an hour.
Right, to break up the drive, correct.
And it did cost, I believe, about $7 a person.
To get in.
Yes.
Is this like New Zealand dollars or is this American? Probably American, I would say.
I think
Yeah,
I
it's
wrote
American.
probably American.
Okay.
Stop number 3 of our drive today is this. Look. Mount Cook. The tallest mountain in all of New Zealand, I think.
And then the end of this day was Lake Tekapo. In Lake Tekapo, it is known for its dark, dark skies. It is apparently a UNESCO World Heritage Site for their sky.
Correct.
And
the whole sky
their sky is
UNESCO World
yes.
Heritage Site because it's very dark and apparently
Stargazing.
excellent for stargazing.
Stargazing, shooting stars,
The whole
constellation, whatever. There's a lot of schools and research here.
Yes, and there's actually activities you can do to go up the mountain and stargaze.
Yes.
And there are tours, as I'm sure you'll find all kinds of tours out there. So if that's something you're interested in, we got there on a kind of cloudy night.
It was a cloudy night. It was completely cloudy, actually. I went out at like midnight.
Nothing. So
Clouds.
we didn't get to do any of those things, but we're only there for one night. So
This is our final destination for day 1 of our road trip across New Zealand. We are currently in Lake Tekapo in the southern island, and this is where we'll spend the night. Goodbye, Lake Tekapo Airbnb. On to the next spot.
I do want to shout out where we went for breakfast here though, because it was one of my favorite breakfasts of this road trip. It was the Greedy Cow Cafe in Lake Tekapo. That breakfast was excellent in my opinion. Everything 10 out of 10.
that's good food.
Oh, come on, you actually really liked it.
Yeah, it was good, but it's a good food.
Something that made me really excited about New Zealand, and you'll kind of see a little bit, is they do a lot of grilled halloumi cheese for breakfast, which I love, but it's not a big thing in the States. And I got it a couple times, and it made my morning every morning. Okay.
Headed out to Christchurch from Lake Tekapo.
Yes.
That was probably like a three and a half hour
That was
drive.
another 3-hour drive.
We ended up going to Christchurch, which was really fun. It's a historic city for all kinds of historic reasons, but Christchurch, in my opinion, came into my worldview when they had one of their big earthquakes, and that's why I've heard of Christchurch when I was growing up in Nigeria, because there was a very big earthquake. So there's a lot of history and education about just the city and where it's located on the fault lines and why they have so many earthquakes compared to other parts of New Zealand. And you can see the damage and the restoration in process. So it's kind of a very historic city that way.
The final stop of day 2 of our road trip across New Zealand is Christchurch. So here's our room at the George. We have the mini bar, all of our stuff. They came with welcome drinks. So vanilla oat milk latte, Coca-Cola for Gabriel. And here is our room with so much fall outdoors. I mean, look at all this fall.
I have found the most perfect place to chill in the sun and just relax.
All history stuff aside too, it is a very walkable city. So walkable, so many parks, so many green parks. And we did find here Riverside Market, which, as some of you may know, we enjoy a good market with all kinds of food stalls. So of course we went here for dinner. I got Sri Lankan food to try something new. Gabriel did not decide to try something new, and he got Thai food again.
If it works, stick to it.
His was
it was really good.
road trip from southern New Zealand to northern New Zealand. We are driving today from Christchurch, where we stayed last night, to Picton. And from Picton is where we take the ferry between the two islands. Our stop that we just did now was in Kaikoura, and we drove out to the Kaikoura, I might be saying that wrong, the Kaikoura Peninsula, where apparently you can see a lot of seals, sea life, dolphins, whales, baby seals. We did see some seals, but not like a whole lot. And I saw some dolphins while driving. Gabriel thinks I'm capping, but how is he supposed to know he's driving and paying attention to being a good driver? So we stopped there for a little bit to break up our drive. It's like 4.5 hours today. Beautiful area along the beach. The drive started off through the mountains. It is ending along the coastline. Literally, it can't get any better. Maybe it can. Actually stopped at Ohau lookout point. That had way more seals. I would say definitely if you're driving along that main road, stop there. There was probably like 200, 300 of them. So many little baby seals, and they were all in this like rocky sea area. So there was all these small little pools of seawater, and they were just in there like flipping around and playing, kind of like a baby seal kiddie pool, which was kind of fun. And it was just fun to go watch them. They're making all these weird sounds, playing around with each other, sneezing, coughing, just doing all kinds of like weird little seal stuff. Also, seals are so weird to see on land because they really don't have legs or anything. So they're just like walking on their fins. That's kind of weird. And they're just flipping around the water, going in and out. I don't know if there's a specific time of year or anything. So maybe look that up, but
Picton isn't necessarily a tourist destination, but it is where the ferry goes between the two islands. Correct. So that is why we stopped there. This day was about a 4.5 hour drive.
Yes, and then we spent the night in Picton in order to get the ferry. But as proper Minnesotan people, we went the night before to suss out the place, to make sure we knew where to drop the car, to make sure we knew where the ferry left from. And of course in the morning we were wrong. But that's not the point. That is not the point.
A little fun New Zealand thing is, for a popular breakfast item are meat pies. Very hearty breakfast, might I say. But we did get meat pies at the Picton Village Bakery in Picton. So if you're stopping there in the morning to take the ferry and you are in need of some breakfast, that's a good place to go and get some very traditional, classic, hearty, filling
New Zealand breakfast.
Yeah, good.
And I actually got some Ribena, which I hadn't had since I was a kid and growing up in Abuja. So
yeah, you were excited about that. Now we are hopping on the Blue Ridge Ferry. There are 2 different ferries that go between the South and the North Island. It's kind of potato where you can find a ticket and what time it's leaving that suits your travel needs. But this particular ferry was about $75 American dollars per person, and it is a 3-hour ferry ride, so it is not just a little hippity hop. You are getting on the ferry for a while, but it is a giant boat. There's a cafe, there's levels, you can be outside. But do you want to explain that?
Yes, but the car rentals do not let you transport cars. As far as I know, we use Hertz.
Yes.
They do not let you transport their vehicles from the north to the South Island or from the south to the North Island. They don't let you drive. They don't let you put the...
But they don't let you start in the south and then stop in the north.
Right. You can do a round trip if you would want.
But if you're doing one way...
No, they don't let you do that. So we ended up leaving our car at Picton and picking up the car at the other destination.
A new car. Overall, the drive through southern New Zealand was stunning. It was magical. It was whimsical. You saw sheep frolicking every day. You look this way, sheep. This way, ocean. It honestly,
Sheep's the best
there's gotta be not a better place in the world for a road trip.
I would say also, as a driver, on the wrong side for us, in our perspective, is something to be careful about is making sure you get an automatic car, not a manual, except you're used to driving manuals.
Unless you want to.
Except you want to. And also the roads are a little bit skinnier because you do go up some hills and mountain sides. Just don't get a massive truck. I don't even know there are massive trucks out there, but smaller the better. I had an SUV that was a tad bit too big, so you had to scooch around,
But the driving is not aggressive.
No.
It's not fast.
No.
It is a relaxed.
And lots of people that are driving will stop at lookouts too, so it's not like you're just driving trying to get there. So we stopped at a bunch of lookouts, took breaks. Very pretty, very pretty drive.
An elite road trip destination. And now in the next video we'll be doing a whole other road trip on the Northern Island. So that will be coming up next.
You would hope it's a lavender farm.
This means his toenails cut. Mine came and it's too hot to eat, but now Gabriel claims that he gets his all to himself. But we're sharing.
We just listened to the internet like faithful internet peoples.
Okay.
You just said when we were setting this up, oh, that breakfast that we had at that one place was so good.
I actually said, I remember when we went for breakfast there. It was really good. That's it. You enter an episode of Mad Max Furiosa because it becomes quite deserty. Is that the right place?
Where are you?
Oh my goodness, where am I? I feel like it was in between.
It was like green rolling hills and all of a sudden ocean.
Okay, well, wrong place then. Scratch that.